We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Now, when Einstein said that, he was showing us that the surest way to solve a problem is to change the way we think about it. And that's what the Simpol solution is all about. And because it's about the way we think, I co-wrote it with a psychologist, Nick Duffel. When we think about the challenges like climate change, wealth inequality, or tax evasion, tax avoidance, we tend to think that because they are so serious and urgent, governments will take the necessary action. But when governments don't take that action, we blame our politicians for not treating them as important, or we even accuse them of being in hock to vested interests and for not solving them. But this way of thinking isn't solving the problem. Nothing is changing. So a different way to think about the problem is to reject the idea of blaming and shaming. Maybe it isn't that governments don't want to solve our problems, but that they can't. Let's take climate change, for example. We all want our leaders to act quickly to solve it, but the progress seems painfully slow. Is that because our leaders don't care or don't want to solve it? Or is there something else going on here? If we think differently, we can see that any government that acts decisively to reduce its carbon emissions might have to make changes that cost businesses more money. And if any one government acts too decisively in advance of others, those businesses could simply move to another country to avoid the costs. So no government wants to be the one to move first, fearing the financial costs and the countless jobs that then could be lost if they did. So it's a vicious circle, which is why progress is so glacially slow. It's actually not that difficult to understand when you see the vicious circle that's driving it. So the Simpol solution is about changing our thinking to be able to see that vicious circle, and then offering a campaign that you can really get behind so that we can get these problems solved together. Well, because we've got enormous global problems and they're urgent. It's not just climate change, it's wealth inequality, mass migrations, lots of issues that we're faced with. So whether it's the election of Donald Trump in the US, or whether it's Brexit in the UK, or the rise of the far right across the rest of Europe, these tendencies are being exacerbated by destructive global competition. So if we don't address it swiftly at the level it's coming from, which is global, we won't solve these problems at all. So now is the time.